ENFJ love, it's complicated. Timid but bold, humble yet arrogant, constantly achieving and showered in doubt while stumbling into knowledge and innocence. Connecting to a love while pushing it away. Crazy inside while posing as cool and sane. Triumphant yet defeated. Believing strength and unity while secretly yearning separation. Some ENFJ actions are vague while others definite, yet sending mixed messages. A newspaper pile of them. Too many unforeseen problems before the relationship even begins. Seeking the one and only higher power to sort through the ambiguity of love. That could be one of life's simple things, like sipping morning tea, or driving with the windows down, or hearing the right song at the right moment, or indulging in a hot fudge sundae on the porch while watching the sunset. Once ENFJ's complex mind goes to work, as though sifting through a basket of clothes, sorting the whites from the colors, and somehow everything fades to pink. Stability unnecessarily in shambles. So today, I give you laundry, a little messy, as I attempt to assemble love. What is it? Especially as it relates to ENFJ. Let's unfold it together. When it comes to love, ENFJs have enormous power, but are they oblivious to it? By the end of this video, I hope you can answer that question. Keenly aware, they are vividly unaware. It's as though they are in the middle of a four-room house with happenings happening in every quarter. They zone internally and intensely into the door in front of them, but something is occurring in the back room. Love. They hang out in that area too, but nothing registers. In much the same way, there are people crushing on the ENFJ, and the ENFJ remains asleep to it. ENFJs are grasping everything regarding love, sauntering from corner to corridor. Deep, unrelenting hurt, rejection, elation, things they call regrets, from the why'd I let you go to why'd I chase you like that, or why'd I waste time, money, energy on trying to find love. It's like grabbing strands of yarn hanging from the ceiling and walking around with them until they are twisted, unwindable, matted, frayed, a knotted ball that can't fully be restored, as they make use of some of it and store the other. Like a chipmunk storing acorns and berries in their cheeks, so does the ENFJ in their subconscious mind. Sometimes, in fact, they understore and overstore. They can't keep up with the mounting experiences. They will be strongly interested in avoiding the landmines that are taxing and toxic. Taxing so unwittingly, drawing in those who they can't shake off easily. The ones who become more potent with the sting of rejection. ENFJs don't want to use the mental energy it takes to engage them or shake them off, so they give quick, polite gestures that hook the lover to be. Some people accept crumbs. ENFJs are guilty of accepting crumbs too, but once or twice is a big enough lesson and becomes a toxic potion that they quickly jump out of. If only they could calm their nerves long enough to explore something that could eventually be great. But they lack patience, and their introverted intuition detects something, and they know to get away. They sit back and watch the show as a potential date comes close, then pulls away. The person is interested, but unwilling to do the work. ENFJ sees the ambivalence, steps back, and allows the person to sway back and forth without a lot of interference. Can they work through this? They don't know what to do. ENFJs could be interested, but trust their gut and refuse to play because they know the ending is getting played. How can anyone like me? The ENFJ will occasionally question themselves and their own merit, only taking quick glances in the mirror. They wonder why so many people are clamoring for their attention. They go through dark periods where honestly, they don't think highly of themselves at all. But the world doesn't see them that way. What is the shift in mood creating to the outer world? Why do these people want me when I don't even want myself? They don't recognize their charm. Through their own despair, they are relatable because they understand the depth of human void and are connecting to it with others. It is raw and unintentional. At the end of the day, they just feel like being kind to everyone and not falling prey to the luring games of love. Part of the problem is FE makes them feel too intensely what they want to feel and what they don't want to feel. It feels good and bad, euphoric and horrific. They just want to coast so they can think clearly and make rational decisions. But they can love super hard and disdain super hard. Sometimes they want to sail in SE. Their extroverted sensing, their silly, playful, spontaneous, I'm acting without thinking side. But their intensely deep NI and FE need to be on vacay first. Those two creatures won't allow SE to take over for long. ENFJ wants to let go, but ENFJ doesn't want to hurt a love interest's feelings or let completely go of the ropes holding them back, because there's always the possibility of letting go of magical love, always waiting for NI to give clearance that they can fall unashamedly, unhindered, madly crazy in love. The more time goes by, the more rational and logical ENFJ becomes, and the giant roller coaster fades into a small staircase. With every step comes the hope of much healthier relationships, but it isn't as much fun when they were making rookie mistakes like being too blunt. Well, the love interest said to tell the truth, but they didn't really mean it, or letting their temper flare a little too often, but that intensifies the romance. Quieting the nonsense shuts down SE, and it isn't as fun. Can anyone provide the map to ENFJ's rational euphoria to love? When it comes to love, ENFJ can accidentally reel someone in, but maybe it's not an accident for the person being reeled in. Maybe they're actually trying to reel the ENFJ in. Things get complicated real fast for the ENFJ when it comes to love, especially when multiple people are on the chase for the ENFJ's heart, because they feel what each one feels. So powerful is the ENFJ mind that they'll want to try on each relationship in their head first, speed things up, slow things down, experiment in a variety of settings and scenarios, fantasy first, then reality, asking God questions, because they also want to hopscotch around being hurt. The winding road is real. They can drive into unthinkable ditches, like, I could just play all these people and not care if I hurt them, especially because they're not accepting any hints of rejection. Visualizing them screaming in agony, brokenhearted at the hands of the ENFJ would bring on more agony than it's worth. They quickly realize that there isn't a need for ego boosting, is there? But isn't letting someone down quickly the kindest thing to do to put them out of their misery? Some people will drag someone on for decades because they lack the courage to let them know the truth, that I'm just not interested. ENFJs do not want to be stuck in a situation where they're hurting someone endlessly, or they're stuck when they could both move on and find the love of their lives. There the ENFJ goes again, trying to figure out how the other person can navigate instead of focusing on themselves and allowing the other person to navigate life's journey on their own and learn lessons that will help them later in life. Even if that means pain, ENFJ doesn't want to be the reason for someone else's hurt. So now they don't know what to do. Too much kindness could lead the victim on, which could lead them to say,
"You lied to me."
It seems there's no solution. Lead them on or drive them into despair. How about ignore them?
Ignoring you.
Spin the bottle and pick one? ENFJ wants to escape the unwanted love interest's attention, but feels stuck. They know very well pain, sorrow, agony over love, but there's no avoiding it, even though their strategy might be to avoid. Instead of basking in the glow of someone else's hope, it is an unwanted problem. ENFJ forgets to be grateful that someone finds them amazing, beautiful, or handsome, and appealing or attractive on the inside for whatever reason. Someone likes you, and that is incredibly special. Replace anxious worry with gratefulness. You see, God simplified it for me. You can either be nice or mean. It's that simple. Do not get bogged down by the rest. He also said, be humble. Arrogance is for compensating one's own doubts and insecurities. A steady flow of kindness with a steady flow of avoidance could be the best tactic until you can get away altogether. As long as the person has hope and yearning, they are on cloud 9. But once you say no, thank you, it opens the floodgate of sorrow and unpredictability. And that's what scares the ENFJ. But prolonging the person's journey to healing seems a cruel reality too. And the ENFJ cycle begins again, circling over every scenario again and again until there's finally closure, unless the person is wounded and acts out. Too many possibilities and not enough closure. When too many people like the ENFJ, it can feel almost as bad as being rejected themselves. And for moments or days or months, they ponder, they consider giving love up all together because it's turbulent. The truth is, none of us really knows anything, or we know enough to get us through the next step. Sometimes we are pros at certain things and then other things we're not. What will be the point of living this life if there wasn't room for new discoveries? You can look at every decade of your life and see growth, but we don't know everything, and that's okay. If we could avoid hurting people, we would do it. But in life, there's love, and with love, there's heartache, and there are mistakes. Whoever we meet, we kind of become a new person in a way, or we create a new story. So I think instead of being upset or worried about the things that we can't control, all we can do is move forward and do the best that we can. You have to get comfortable with not knowing and stop being so hard on yourself for not knowing. Leading with fear isn't as unusual as you think. You are not alone. You are worthy and deserving of love, even when you don't have all the answers. And what makes love special is I choose you and you choose me. Keep waiting for the miracle. It will be magic. Learn from everyone. Be the best version of yourself that you can. But sometimes you're going to be your crappy self. Leave room for trial and error. There are going to be times when you hurt someone, and there are going to be times when they hurt you. Love requires a leap of faith. It is a road untraveled every day. Sometimes it's not simple. You match your energy to their energy. It's fresh and it's new. Self-discovery is what many people do. All we can do is try. Everyone has fears, and I could say don't be afraid. Isn't it the thing that either cripples us or makes us dig deeper and get better and heal and get stronger? So why don't we embrace love even when it comes to rejection? I pray that you find the love that you're looking for, and if you haven't, don't give up. If you're confused by love, check out my book, Flip the Script on Love, by Tamara Hunter Zyon on Amazon.